the sands and the sun's warm embrace, whispers of tales that time cannot erase. Adaugo sings where the rivers roam, stories of wonder will call you home. From the drum beats loud to the stars so bright, her voice rises bold in the heart of the night. Every story an adventure untold, a journey crafted in courage and gold. Africa tales by Adaugo she sings, where every story spreads its wings. A world of magic where dreams unfold, in her voice the secret's told.
The next morning, Comfort woke up with a sense of determination. She was going to do this. She didn't know exactly what it would look like, but she knew she had to try. She packed her bags with a few bags of her best popcorn, chin-chin and granuts, and with a deep breath, she set off to meet Mr. Adewale. When she arrived at the venue, her heart thudded in her chest. It was a large hotel with shiny marble floors and gold trim. Everything looked so different from the roadside stalls she was used to. She felt out of place, like a small fish swimming in an ocean of sharks. But Comfort held her head high. Mr. Adewale greeted her warmly when she arrived. "You made it. I knew you would." He led her through the halls, introducing her to other caterers and workers who were setting up for the event. They all had a confident air about them, moving with ease in the world Comfort had never stepped into. But instead of feeling intimidated, she felt a spark of excitement. Maybe this was the world she could be a part of, too. "Don't worry about anything, Comfort," Mr. Adewale said. "Just set up your store here and everything will go smoothly. We will handle the rest." Comfort looked around. Her little roadside snacks, so simple, so humble, were going to be served to a crowd of well-dressed people in suits and gowns. She couldn't help but wonder, would they even like it? As the guests began to arrive, Comfort's nerves grew. She was about to serve food to people who didn't know her, didn't know the long hours she had spent perfecting her recipes. They didn't know the heart she had poured into each bag of popcorn. What if they didn't care? What if they just looked down on her work? But when the first person stepped up to her store, she forced a smile and handed them a bag of fresh popcorn. The woman looked at the snack, raised an eyebrow, and then took a bite. Comfort held her breath. The woman chewed slowly and then smiled. "This is really good," she said, nodding appreciatively. "Where did you get this from?" Comfort's smile widened. "I make it myself," she said proudly. The woman's eyes widened. "Really? This is amazing. I am going to tell all my friends about this." The next few hours were a blur of faces and smiles. One after another, people came to try Comfort's popcorn and snacks, and one after another, they were impressed. Comfort felt a growing sense of pride with every compliment, every new person who took a bite and looked pleasantly surprised. They were loving it. They were loving something she had made with her hands. By the end of the evening, Comfort was exhausted but happy Mr. Adewale came by to check on her. "You did an amazing job," he said, clapping her on the back. "I knew you had it in you." Comfort could hardly believe it. "Really? You think so?" "I know so," Mr. Adewale replied. "You are a natural. You've got something special. Comfort. I think we can do even bigger events together." For the first time in a long while, Comfort felt the weight of doubt lifting from her shoulders. She had stepped out of her comfort zone, and in doing so, she had found something new about herself. Maybe this new path wasn't so scary after all. As she packed up her things and walked back to her small home later that night, Comfort knew that no matter how many shiny pictures of grand events came her way, she would always return to the streets, to her store, to the people who had seen her when no one else did. And that was enough. The days following the event at the hotel felt like a dream to Comfort. She had never imagined that her simple roadside business could lead her into such an extravagant world, where people praised her work and offered her opportunities she had only ever dreamed of. Yet, as the excitement wore off, a lingering question began to haunt her. Was she ready for all this change? Would her small familiar world still feel the same now that she had stepped into the bigger one? Comfort spent the following week working at her usual store, but this time, her mind was divided. Every so often, she would catch herself thinking about the grand banquet, the stylish guests, the smiles of approval from people who had never known her before. It felt like a different world, one that seemed so far from the heat of the roadside and the hands-on work she'd always known. One afternoon, just as she was setting up her store for the day, Mr. Adewale called again. "Comfort, I have some good news," he said with excitement in his voice. "We have another event coming up in 2 weeks. It's a charity gala, and we want you to cater again. This time, it's even bigger. The guest list is full of high-profile people, business tycoons, influential figures from all over. What do you think?" Comfort's heart raced as she stood behind the store, trying to picture the glamorous world Mr. Adewale was describing. 2 weeks, another event. Could she really do this again? Was she ready to take her snacks beyond the roadside once more? "I am not sure," she said hesitantly. "I am just a small vendor, Mr. Adewale. I don't have the experience for something like this. What if I mess it up?" "You won't mess it up," Mr. Adewale reassured her. "I believe in you. You proved yourself at the last event. People loved your food and you handled everything so well. You have what it takes, Comfort." Comfort stood silent for a moment. The fear of failure tugged at her. But then she thought of the little boy, Chika, and how she had taught him to trust himself and work hard for what he wanted. If she could teach him that, why couldn't she do the same for herself? "Okay, I'll do it," she said, feeling a sense of determination settle in her chest. "I'll take the opportunity." Mr. Adewale laughed with joy. "That's what I like to hear. You won't regret it, Comfort. I'll send you the details soon. We will make sure everything's ready for you." She stood still for a moment. Something was shifting inside her. She wasn't sure what it was, but she could feel it. A deep awareness that she was stepping into a new chapter of her life. A chapter where the stakes were higher, but the rewards were greater too. For the next 2 weeks, Comfort threw herself into preparing for the gala. She woke up earlier and stayed up later, experimenting with new recipes, perfecting her popcorn seasoning, and making sure everything was just right. It wasn't easy. There were days when she was exhausted, when her hands ached from working so much. But she kept going. She knew this was her chance to prove herself, not just to the world, but to herself as well. On the day of the event, Comfort arrived at the venue with a mixture of excitement and nerves. This time, she wasn't just setting up a small stall on the roadside. This time, the people would be dressed in gowns and tuxedos, sipping champagne and eating hors d'oeuvres.